Three,
two,
two, one. Yeah,
one.
I always forget we have to
Okay.
say that part together because that's how I know
That's how you sync it.
we're lined
Okay.
up.
Should we try it again? Or are you
No,
good?
I can fix it in
Okay.
post.
Okay. Fixer in post. How was pickleball?
Hi, everybody.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah,
sister
sorry.
friends.
It's us. It's the podcast. It's back.
And if you're listening to the podcast, you better be subscribed to the podcast because last week we only gained one subscriber. And I've been watching our small little growth, and the one subscriber threw it off. And also, the one subscriber was also Eddie. He subscribed from his second email account. So, um, please subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Please subscribe. Please listen. Please be here.
Okay, pickleball. Not to be like the world's largest cliche, but like it is so fun. Like from the first time I played it, I was like, oh wait, I understand the hype. I know I'm 3 years late to the trend, but so fun. I never have played a ball sport in my life, so I feared I didn't have hand-eye ball coordination. But it reminded me of gym class where they make you play so many different sports that you just like kind of pick stuff up. Um, and so yeah, it was really nice. I'm going again on Monday, and then I'm going again Saturday night after you leave. I'm making Eddie take a class with me as well. I just want to get good enough where I can just like play on my own,
Yeah.
like in
Yeah.
the outdoor land. The
Yeah. No,
scoring is honestly the most confusing part.
okay. And is it a scoring? Is it like tennis?
No, so it's just like 1 to 11. It's like ping pong. Win by two, but you say the score by saying the team who is serving score, then the other team score, and then player one or player two. So you start out with 0-0-1, and then if that team scores, it's 1-0-1, and your server only switches when you like lose the ball, and you can only score on a serve. And like there's a part of the um there's a part of the court that's called like the kitchen, and like you have to stay out of the kitchen unless the ball bounces in the kitchen, then you can go into the kitchen. So it's just like the rules were a lot.
Okay. Yeah. No, I see people playing it all the time when I drive past our like local park, and I know I would enjoy it. I just haven't done it. And Tanner and I keep talking about doing it. But I don't know. Yeah. I think it sounds super fun. You'll have to teach me. Um,
Yeah, and that's why I'm making like Eddie go to the class just to hear the scoring from like a professional,
yeah.
because like I just know if I'm going to be out there trying to teach people how to play, like it's going to be confusing and hard.
Yeah. Um, Now, with the class, was it like you and who'd you go with? You
It's
went with Eddie's sister, right?
yeah. And
Okay.
these classes are 4 people total because it takes four
Okay.
people to play a game. And
Okay. And so then you're
so,
like with your group. Okay.
yeah, you spend like the first 20 minutes, and that's not true, like the first 40 minutes just doing different drills. So
Okay.
you practice like hitting up close, you practice serving, you practice returning a serve, you practice going across the court and practice like smacking down.
Were
Um,
the other were the
and
other
then
two
like
people
the last four are like
playing it?
you like play a game.
Were the other two people with you? Was this also their first time, or was it like do some people go as, yeah, as a refresher slash
So,
getting tips,
yeah,
or
so but not this class. This was like strictly for beginners. So like if you'd like played like 3 times or less. So we were all like bad. Although one of the guy on the other who we were playing with has a tennis background, and so he was definitely better than us. But having a tennis background can actually make it a little bit harder because you have like more of a learning curve because you hold the racket differently and you run differently or whatever. I don't know. But we were all like equally beginners, which is nice because you can also like rent out this court if like you and your 3 closest friends can like rent out a court to play.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
Is
so
it so? Is
nice.
it
That's the best part was the facility. It's in Long Island City, Queens, which I live on the east side of Manhattan, so it's just literally a ferry away. And it's indoors, thank goodness, because of the heat. And it was just giving boutique fitness, like cute branding. It's all like bright yellow and black. Like it felt super clean, like really nice spots for people to like sit and watch you play. Um, So
Oh.
yeah, I'm just like a big fan of the facility. My instructor was an 18-year-old boy child
Uh-huh.
who was going off to college, and he was like clearly like gonna be like a college tennis player, and like this is his summer job.
Yeah.
And
Perfect summer
I don't know,
job.
he was so funny. He was like 90 pounds and 6'5", and like I could see through him. And he was really nice. I have nothing to say, but he I could tell was like, "Yep, it's Saturday and I'm teaching this loser how to play pickleball."
Yeah, yeah. Well, did you see the Zendaya movie about tennis, the two tennis
I
players?
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
I loved it, and then I was listening to a podcast,
With
and
Hannah Bernhardt.
yes, yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't normally listen to her podcast. Like sometimes it just automatically starts playing after I listen to Armchair Expert. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like I just didn't like turn it off. And she was saying that like the guys don't look like they play tennis, and like Zendaya like was holding the racket wrong. And I was just like, as someone who doesn't know anything at all, I was like, oh, that's shocking. Like I would have just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Um,
I listened to that same podcast because I thought that was interesting. She was saying that she didn't find like the men attractive, and I was like, okay, well that's objective. Like
yeah.
they're just not like your type,
Yeah,
whatever.
but I
But
think she
then
was saying they didn't
they
look like tennis players, which I totally understand. Like, you have a
like the
certain build
build.
for a certain, yeah, for
See,
a certain
like to me, they
sport.
were like lanky and strong. Like I feel like that is about having not played tennis ever before. I don't know. Um,
Yeah,
I was surprised about having wrong technique because they hired like a well-known tennis player to like train them,
yeah,
but
that's what I thought
I
too.
don't know.
But I
To
don't
the
know. She
untrained
they may have
eye, it
not.
looked like excellent tennis
Right.
to me.
Yeah.
Besides, I
Well,
was
and
too busy focusing on Zendaya's clothes the whole time. So
oh my goodness, the outfits were outfitting. Yeah. Um, but yeah, like I'm sure to the untrained eye, it's like one of those things when like when people are talking about cheerleading and they say stuff or like they're pretending to do it, I'm like, oh no, fix your wrist. Like little things that other people wouldn't notice at all, but like are like, duh. Back to our talk about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
oh wait, that my brain also went to that because I was thinking about the video of everyone doing the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader dance, and you can always tell like who is a dancer and who's not.
Yeah.
What?
The dancer from Ohio State made the team. She is officially a DCC. It was so fun. She like did like in one of her she did like vlogs of her like making the team.
Yeah.
I'm sure like tons of content will be coming out like in post.
Mm-hmm.
But she did like a FaceTiming with like the team, and like her coach is like she's like wasn't even my coach, and she was like one of the best coaches like ever. So it was just like really exciting for everyone.
That's so amazing. I know, and I saw that Charlie and Kelly made it, who were
Yes.
like the two from the season that didn't.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was really interesting too. It's like I wonder, like obviously when you start filming something like that, like I wonder if they took so much video of anything and everything, or they just got lucky on like, oh, these people are going to be stars eventually. Like,
Yeah. I know, but also I think it's like really good planning ahead. Like if they filmed a season two, I'm gonna watch it because I
exactly.
like already like these two girls that
Yeah, and I don't think it
I
changes
liked in
anything
season
for
one.
me, like knowing that they made it, because it's also like it'd be impossible to hide it. You know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
like if they'd have to have a season come out like in real time, if they, you know, like
Yeah.
it won't be as like, oh, who's gonna make it, because we're gonna know.
Yeah.
But I still think it'll
Oh,
still be
yeah, I hear
fun to
you.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing about making the team is like you social media was not what it is now, and so you didn't have access to just like go and look at like DCC's Instagram and like seeing everyone on the team.
Right.
It really
Yeah.
was like a surprise every year.
Yeah.
Because also we're not like Cowboys fans, so we're not like watching the games and
Right, yeah,
stuff.
I guess we could have bought a calendar and like flipped through it and like seen
Yeah,
who, yeah.
but
But
we're
yeah,
not that big of fans.
yeah, no, but I don't know. I think that's so cool. Also, like when I saw, like I didn't know this Ohio State dancer previously. Like obviously, I've been out of the
Yeah,
game for a
she's like
long, long
8 years
time.
younger than you.
Yeah, she's a. I could have birthed her. But it's just funny because like when I found her Instagram, she had like posted. She was. It was originally like they had said like, oh, these are our candidates or whatever, and I just like looked at her. Like I think they said from Toledo, Ohio, and then I like looked on her page, and like it was one of those things like when you look at someone and you're like, oh, they have the look. Like I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I looked at like 6 of her videos, and it's like, there's no way she's not going to, not gonna
yeah.
make it.
The
Um,
charisma,
but
the riz, as the
the
children say.
yeah, the cool girl energy that
Well,
I
yay, that's so exciting. I love
yeah
watching people like fulfill their dreams. Like that's just the coolest thing
yeah.
ever.
Also, I think there's 24 people going to the Olympics that are from Ohio State.
Listen to this. My friend from work's going to the Olympics. Not competing, but like watching.
Just going.
But like so um it's been her family's like lifelong dream to go to the Olympics. And they're like huge sports people. And she's originally from Morocco and now she lives obviously in New York. And her friend lives in Paris. And I guess if you live in the city the Olympics are coming to, you get like it's like a lottery system for tickets. And her friend had entered the lottery system and got a handful of tickets. And she was like, I want you guys to use this because like it's your lifelong dream. And so she left this morning because opening ceremonies are tonight. She's going to opening ceremonies. She's going to beach. Is it beach volleyball? That's, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
our call failed.
sand.
Let's hope Zoe kept
Oh,
recording. Let's hope Zoe kept recording. Cause I can fix it in post. Should I text her? Please keep recording. I don't know why your call failed. Oh, and my AirPods are dying. Times are bleak. That's fine. I can. That's okay. I'm just gonna keep recording, and then I'll edit mine. I sang a nice little song. I was like, Zoe, keep recording. I can fix it in post. Okay, yeah. We just have to do it
Three,
together
two,
after you
one. Now
start.
I'm in. Oh, okay.
Okay, three,
Three,
two,
two,
two.
two, one. What?
Literally
Three,
just count down three, two, one. Ready, go. Three,
three,
two,
two,
one.
one. Now. Okay, sorry, we're back. I lost connection.
Anyway, she's
Um,
going to see sand volleyball, beach volleyball. I
Xand,
forget
maybe?
what it's
I
called.
don't know.
And I don't know, some other ones. But apparently, like when you get your ticket, you like it's also a lottery system for like the sports you go to.
Oh,
But
interesting. Yeah.
I made the
Yeah,
embarrassing question of asking if she was going to wear United States apparel. And she's like, no, I'll probably wear Moroccan apparel. And I was like, great point.
you never know. You never know. Honestly, the United States apparel is like cute. Have you looked at it? Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I keep getting ads for it.
all over TikTok though. I'm getting all the Olympians like unboxing their like
Oh,
sports gear, and it reminds me of when you were a cheerleader and you got your duffel bag of like t-shirts and
yeah. I know. When I did it, we got yelled at because we like some people posted pictures and stuff, and our coach was like, "That's distasteful and like showy." And now, literally, like all the girls do unboxing videos for TikTok. I'm like, "Oh, have
see,
times
I love it.
changed?"
I'm like, I want to see.
Yeah,
what you're wearing. I want to know. I'm just curious. I loved when you got yours and I could go through your little duffel bag of red sports bras and gray t-shirts.
yeah, I know. I still live in half of those things. Um, but yeah, no, okay. I have not gotten onto Olympics TikTok besides like Simone Biles TikTok, but I'm always on Simone Biles TikTok.
Oh,
Um,
I'm reading all about their reading, I say. I'm watching TikToks all about their cardboard beds. Have you read about their cardboard beds?
not this year, but I heard about them during the last Olympics.
So the bed frames are cardboard. Like they look like cardboard. Like sometimes cardboard can like be disguised. Like no, they look like cardboard. They're white. And then there's three cushions that make up the twin size bed. And there's medium firm, and then if you flip it over, it's hard firm. And everyone's being like, even the medium's way too hard. Like we're sleeping on rocks. This sucks. But the
Yeah.
sailing team is actually not in the villa in the Olympic
Or the
Village.
surfers.
Or
The
the
surfers aren't
surfers. Maybe
either.
I'm thinking the surfers because they have a real hotel because their event is like so early in the morning and they have to be like next to the ocean.
Water, yeah.
Um, but I just like cannot believe they train their whole lives. They're at the top of their game. They're at the biggest week of their life and they're like, "Sorry, you have to sleep on cardboard and bedrock." And it's
I know
also a twin size
it's
bed. I'm
crazy.
sorry that you're 11 feet tall.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It makes sense from the logistics of like there's gonna be all these people and like I've heard that they're eco-friendly and like blah 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 blah, but like it doesn't make any sense. And I was also wondering like can people bring their own like okay, I will buy a mattress, I will Amazon a mattress to me. Like are you allowed to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. And Paris is like notorious for having no AC. Thank you, Europe. And everyone's
Huh?
complaining about having to bring. Did you hear me wheeze? I have an asthma update, by the way.
I thought
Um,
that was your cat.
no, that's me. Um, everyone has to bring their own AC unit, which sucks.
Mhm.
Okay, so asthma update. I had an appointment a couple days ago, and using professional terms, I'm still squeaking, which makes me think of that
Mhm.
character from Toy Story, Wheezy. Because that's
You're
who I
still
am.
squeaking. That sounds like when you like eat a piece of Wisconsin cheese and you're like, oh, it's squeaking.
I'm squeaky. Um, and it's like I can't even, I don't notice it. She can only hear it with the stethoscope. Anyways, she told me I have to get a CAT scan on Tuesday because it could just be like really bad inflammation, which can just get fixed with a higher dosage of my steroid and my inhaler. Or it could be like there's a blockage, but we're just mainly ruling out that there's not a blockage and that we can fix this with just a higher dose of steroids.
If it was a blockage, what would the blockage be?
It'd be like a tumor or like
Okay,
a, a growth or something. But
concerning.
basically, we don't think it's that, but we're just ruling that out with a CT scan. So,
Yeah. Okay. And when is that CT
base
scan? Did you say?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
have a
I'll be showing a
cardiology
cow. You'll be
appointment in
getting
the
a CT
morning.
scan.
Yeah, I have a cardiology appointment in the morning. I have a CT scan in the afternoon, and then I have an evening event at work from 6 to 9 p.m. It's a big day for me.
Yeah, you're booked and busy.
I don't think I need to go to the cardiologist, but mom really wants me to go, so I'm going to go.
And the cardiologist is different how from the doctor you went to? You went to a I know
I
nothing
went
about
I
the
went from a
body.
pulmonologist. A pulmonologist is
Pulmonologist.
respiratory and lungs. They diagnosed asthma. My cardiologist, because I went to my general practitioner a few months back, and they were concerned about my really high pulse
Blood
rate,
pressure. Oh, pulse, yes.
and it can just fluctuate really fast, and I just want to make sure I don't have like I don't know anything funky going on with my heart. But I'm like 98% sure it's because of my asthma, and just because sometimes it's harder for me to breathe, so my heart has to pump faster, so my pulse is higher. But because I already have the appointment, mom wants me to just go and confirm that everything's fine with my
Yeah.
heart. Because I have had an extremely high pulse before, asthma. Like I had it in high school. I couldn't give blood because they were like, "Whoa, you're anxious," and I've always just
Yeah,
cracked it up to anxiety. But I guess it'll be good
yeah,
to like actually get it checked out.
yeah. I've always told myself I can't give blood because I'm insanely woozy. I mean, I'm woozy right now thinking about it, but like the fact that you got like a hey, you can't give blood, like you got an actual hard and fast no. Whereas like I haven't, I just know like I know I would be a liability, but then I feel guilty because I'm like I haven't been told I can't give blood.
Well, the hardest part is in high school, we always did a blood drive, and our math teacher would give extra credit if you gave blood. And I always try to give blood. Every single time I try to give blood, they were always like, your heart rate's 130. It's supposed to be like in the
Mhm.
60s to 70s. Like, we can't hook you up to a
Yeah.
machine. The machine would explode. Blood would just be everywhere.
What?
And then I'd be like, hello, Mr. Chandler. I tried to give it. They told me no. And he'd be like, maybe next time. Don't eat a donut in the morning. And I was like, you're ableist. Just kidding.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
really.
Um, have I ever told you about Tanner's blood? He tried to give blood in high school and his traumatizing event.
No. Did the
Okay, so
IV come out and blood got everywhere?
no, much worse. So he tried to give blood, and they said that he had, is it AIDS, like HIV, something like, yeah, I think yeah, because HIV turns
They
into
looked
AIDS,
at
right?
Tanner. They said, this is a gay man. He cannot give blood.
Exactly. No, they like like did they test it first? I don't know. Somehow they like told him he had HIV,
HIV.
and at this time Tanner was a virgin and was like, "It was I just born with this?"
And
Like
Tanner was like,
freaking out.
I have not swapped blood
Yeah,
with anybody.
yeah. He was freaking out, and apparently every in a teensy tiny one in a billion chance you could get a false positive. And so he like,
Mm,
ran and got more tests done and he was absolutely fine, but he was absolutely traumatized from the whole experience because he is a hypochondriac and he was a hypochondriac
yeah,
before this happened. And this was like the worst person to have this happen to.
absolutely.
But because in like the blood system or whatever, they're like, oh, he has this. They're like, you can't ever give again, which he didn't
Hmm.
then like go to question if he couldn't give it
Yeah.
again. He was just like, oh, I just can't give blood because
That's
I
crazy
have
that, and what's the
HIV.
blood drive company called? The Red Cross. Crazy that in the Red
Right.
Cross system, Tanner has HIV.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, oh, and like I think that yeah, it was like a whole thing. Um, and he was traumatized. Do you remember there was a time where we had the blood drive and a mouse fell out of the ceiling onto the blood drive area?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I feel like I've
not
really
good.
blocked out a lot of memories from high school. But
Hmm.
occasionally one will slip it through the cracks, like how we had our middle school in modulars for like 20 years past the time they were supposed to
Hmm.
get rid of them, and cats would crawl underneath and die, and then it would just smell like cat carcass in school, and we didn't have any air conditioning, and I don't even remember. See, everything else
Yeah,
I've
there was like a
specifically tried to block
purple
out.
there was always like a purple goo under the drinking fountains, and everyone was like, "Don't know what kind of mold that is."
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok recently that was someone who I didn't recognize, um, and they were talking about the drama of the things that happened at their school, and I realized it was someone that went to our school because when she said like the third thing, I was like, "Wait, all those things happened at my school." And I thought it was just interesting, and it hadn't gone like mega super crazy like viral or
Hmm.
anything, but it had like a substantial amount of views, and I was just like, oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
It
High
was
school was a
mostly
really
just
crazy time.
yeah, it was mostly just a substitute teacher that got hit by a car,
Oh
and
my
the
God, loved
person
him. He
who
went on
was
to be my
dating a
favorite
student.
teacher. He's my least favorite teacher.
And then what was the other? I don't know. There was like a third thing that they had said that
If
I
I was
can't remember what
someone
it
that
is
would
now.
like write back to mentors, there's like three people I feel like I should like thank for like helping me get to where I am in my life. And
Hmm.
the teacher that got hit by a car is one of them. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to blow up his spot because he lives
Was that a
hyper
teacher that
local.
is that a teacher that I had? I don't know. I
I don't
remember it
know.
happening, but I don't
He
think I
was
actually
probably
ever had him.
subbing for a long time, and then by the time I got to
Yeah,
high school, he was our
he was.
history teacher and government teacher. But the
Yeah,
way
okay.
that
I
he
never had
shift
him, but yeah,
jobs while I was there, I ended up having him 3 of my 4 high school years. So I had him like American history, Revolution to Reconstruction, and Reconstruction to present, and then government. And then I went on to be a political science major. And so clearly he was impactful
yeah,
to my
to
life.
you.
There's also a professor I had my freshman year of college where she encouraged me to go to the Holocaust Museum, which I was later employed by and then chose to do museum work. And I feel like I
Hmm.
have to thank her for like forcing me to write a paper about this museum that I never had been to.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know who you
Yeah.
are, history teacher. That got hit by a car. There's only one of you. He was not
Oh,
badly injured, but he was in fact
no.
run over in the parking lot. But he
Yeah, he
more so
was
just like bounced
shook.
off the hood. He
Oh, I
wasn't
thought he
like
more
crumpled.
rolled up the hood.
Yeah, okay. He rolled off the
Yeah, he
hood.
bounced out. Yeah,
He wasn't
yeah, he
like
rolled off
under the
the.
car.
Yeah, no.
There's two ways to be hit by a car here, okay? And one is
Yeah,
significantly better than the other. And he
yeah,
got the
I
better
yeah.
two. He's also a twin, which is this like twins are crazy to me. His twin is a state highway patrolman. Like, there's no way. I'm giving away too much information about this man.
Oh, that's funny. Huh.
Do you have any
Interesting.
twins? I actually have a lot of
Do
friends that are
I
twins now.
the Akers
Sorry,
twins,
not do
yeah,
you
who I
have a
cheered.
twin, but
I was like, I don't have a twin. Um, you do know me. Um, so I, yeah, I cheered with two in college, and then there were two on the dance team. Um, but no, I wasn't like friends with any. Oh, never mind. I was friends with I am friends with a guy named Dylan, and he has a twin who has since passed. But I didn't know her.
mm. Yeah, in my years in New York, I actually have become friends with a lot of twins, but only ever. These are mostly like work friends, so I only know the one and not they're a twin. Um,
Right, yeah.
but I
Um,
just keep finding out all these people are twins. I'm like, that's crazy. Like I know like 5 people at work that are twins.
well, and so what I learned when I was in college is like a lot of twins are through like IVF.
Oh,
So like in uh like richer, more affluent neighborhoods and stuff, like there will be more twins because those are the people that can like afford to
that
do
makes
those things.
sense.
Especially like when it was like a little less uncommon, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
to
and
the
that also makes me
general.
think like maybe in 50 years we're gonna have way more twins than we used to have because IVF became
Yeah.
more popular.
Yeah. I learned that in college because like someone had said like, oh yeah, I had like six twins in my grade, and then I learned it, and then I learned it through them telling me that they learned that. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Fascinating. That is
Yeah.
very interesting. I don't really have my ear to the um, fertility community. I'm not like
Hmm.
up to date on like all things fertility. Um, but my pulmonologist is on the same floor as the fertility clinic at the Cornell Medical Hospital I go to. And so
Hmm.
I see those people going in for their IVF treatments. I'm always like, good luck. Sorry, I'm wheezing on
That's
you.
yeah. I don't know for whatever reason. A lot of my friends have like had issues with getting pregnant. So like I know relatively some things, but like obviously I don't know a ton.
Yeah, all my
Um,
friends are still the age where we're all just trying not to get pregnant, so
yeah.
we're not there yet.
Hmm. Hmm.
We're when someone finds out they're pregnant, we're like, whoa, and they're like, yeah, I tried for this, and we're like, whoa, that's crazy. You have a baby. There was something else I was going to say to you.
I don't know. Do
I'm
you
so
want to talk about my
excited for.
TikTok ban?
Oh my gosh, yeah, Zoe's entire career almost went down the drain 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Zoe,
on
how did they?
Monday.
So TikTok banned you because they thought you were under 13. How does that happen? Like,
So, like, literally, so I had in the morning, I'm doing like an ad for someone, and like I've been doing ads with them. It's Shell. But I needed to link my accounts to like a tracking system where they track your metrics, which is actually lovely because then you don't have to send them a billion screenshots of what you can see on your phone. And I did that in the morning. And like 45 minutes later, I just like go to TikTok to open the app to, scroll, do whatever. And it was like, hey, you've been banned. um, we we believe you're not over 13. You can appeal the decision. And like I thought it was just like funny in the moment, like funny, haha, like okay, this is crazy. And then it was like I clicked through the steps to do it, and like did it within 30 seconds. And I uploaded a picture because like it was like take a picture with your ID or whatever. And I did that, and then below it it says like make sure you're holding this code, and I hadn't done that. I didn't hold this code or whatever. So I tried to X out to retake the picture, and they won't let you retake the picture. You can only take the picture once for whatever reason. So then I had to submit that the way it was. And then I waited 24 hours and I heard nothing. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I think it was like a day and a half later. It was like, hey, your appeal is denied. And so then I could re-appeal, and I took the picture correctly this time. And then it was like another day, and my account came back, but I couldn't actually see it. There was like no information on it, but I looked on Dad's phone, and like a handful of my videos were up. And then Tanner, like, in since this has explained to me like how the different servers have all the data, and so it's like getting populated from different
Mm-hmm.
places. And it's just saved in different places and stuff. And it looks like it's pretty much normal now.
Yeah, I just pulled it up and it
Um,
looks normal.
but yeah, it was like at first I was like, haha, funny, and then I was like, oh, this sucks. And then like I was getting increasingly like not like I was never at any point like, oh my goodness, my career is over, I'm devastated. Um, because like if there was an account to get pulled down, like my TikTok is my smallest and most annoying in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I was like, I honestly like, I was like, if my TikTok's down, I'm just done with TikTok. Like, I wouldn't try to rebuild probably, which sounds
Yeah.
like bad, but like, there's so many fake accounts on there. I don't even know what username I would try to get that would like, I'd have to
Yeah.
rebrand in some way or something. And I've always been like, this is my only account. I don't have any backup accounts, and I'm not sure how I would like prove to people that I was really me. Besides the fact that I would just like, I don't know, but like it didn't sound like a fun time to do that. But I have like three ads like in the work for the fall, and so I was like, oh, I having to contact everyone to be like, I guess we'll have to
Yeah.
renegotiate for lower would be unfortunate. But yeah, it came back. It was really interesting for like the appeal process. You could either take a picture with like your passport, your ID, or you could do a facial aging AI thing where it was like they would determine your age based off of AI, which is like so hilarious because they already decided that I was under 13. So I'm not really sure why
Yeah, I'm
anyone
just
would
like
trust that
curious.
process unless if you just didn't have an ID. If you were 14 and like you just hadn't, because you wouldn't have like you wouldn't necessarily have a driver's license, or if you didn't have a passport, I guess that was like would be the way you would go. Um,
Yeah, I'm
but
just
yeah,
like
it was
curious
very
how they
interesting.
determined that you looked too young.
I think someone reported me because you can report people for being underage.
Oh,
And there was someone I got into an argument with last week that maybe like they were like, oh, I'm gonna report this person. I don't know. It was a minor fight. They just said that I was super annoying, and I said, "You seem annoying." Um, it was like a little bit back and forth or whatever. Like that's the only thing I can think of, unless it was just like a random thing. Because like also the other thing is like they have all of my information because I'm in
yeah.
the like creator
Like
fund. So
literally the tax forms.
like
Like,
I know they already had like that information. So I don't know.
yeah.
It's whatever. But it's a really good reminder that like we do not own these apps. We have absolutely no control over what's going on. They can all be down the drain tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, while your TikTok was getting banned, I was going to Williams Sonoma and I got a Le Creuset Dutch oven.
Was that $5 million?
So it was a graduation present from our mother to me.
Hmm.
Um, and I've been picking it out since May. So, a lot of time and effort went into it. It was $500, which now makes it the most expensive thing in my entire apartment. Um, Literally more expensive than my couch and my bed, which is really shows you how cheap my couch and my bed are.
Oh,
Um,
that's funny.
yeah, I think the only thing in my entire apartment worth more than that is like my computer. So I'm guarding with my life. I went to the store to pick it up instead of shipping it because I was just like so afraid the Abercrombie thief would decide that they wanted my Le Creuset. Um, and I'm so excited for my future, stews, soups, chilies, braised pork, short ribs. It's gonna be amazing. But most importantly, Mom is delivering Harriet the starter today, and so I'll use it to make my sourdough loaves
So
because
is she bring?
I needed it because I didn't have any pot that could go into the oven. So that's why.
Oh,
Um,
right. Yeah, I don't have
and I
one
was gonna
either.
buy a cheap one, like cheap, like $100. Um, and then Mom was like, I read through every single review, and some people said that it wasn't great for sourdough, so I think you should just let me get this for you for your graduation. Um, Harriet, so Mom got into sourdough starter before it was cool. She was doing it in 2018. So our brother got into sourdough before that. Like, who even knows? Like 2017, he's like, I'm gonna do sourdough. My mom was like, I like a hobby. Let me use your sourdough. So she got it from Cody. That sourdough, I think, died. And so she started over in 2018 with fresh sourdough. So she's been fermenting and feeding it and growing it for 6 years. And it has a little bit has been given to Cody for his new sourdough, and some is given it to Kimber. It's a sourdough that keeps on sourdoughing. And Mom took a bunch of it. She dehydrated it. So she just like left it on the counter with a fan and then put it in a Ziploc baggie. And so it kind of looks like cremains. Like she wrote Harriet on the bag, so it like really looks like cremains.
Oh my gosh.
Um, and then she's gonna bring it here, and we're going to just put a little bit of water and hopefully rehydrate it, and hopefully all of the really good bacteria is still alive and it's just dormant. And I'm gonna feed it every single day, and in about a week, I should be ready to make my first loaf.
Oh my goodness, so fun. There's a part of me that's like, at some point I'm gonna have to join this journey, but I'm not willing and able to now. And now that I know that a pan that would be a pot that can go in the oven is over $100, I can't join at this time. But, we have a, how do you pronounce it? Le Creuset, Creuset,
La Crusette.
La Creuset. We have an outlet by us that has that, but like I think it's
Oh,
still about $500,000, and then it's never pretty
yeah,
colors.
so expensive. And and I didn't get a color that was on sale. I got bisque. So it's like a really nice, like light brown cream color.
Hmm.
Um, I know it's always like the bright oranges and the bright purples that are like on sale, and that's just not the journey I want to go down. But I'm very excited, and I mostly really want to just get to a place where I can make a loaf every week or 2 weeks and give them to people. Like, I would like to just show up to people's apartments with fresh loaves of sourdough and be like, I made this for you. And like bring it to work because we have like a food table and just like share my sourdough with people. Like, I eat a decent amount of bread. I have like toast almost every day. So, like, I'll eat through it, but I won't eat enough where I can go through like a loaf a week. That would be crazy.
Hmm.
Um, but I would love to just like, I don't know, go to a dinner party and present them with the
Brie
fresh
bread.
loaf of sourdough that I
Yeah.
made.
Yeah. We're returning to the old days in a way that I like.
I know. Wait, have you been anywhere up to date with the ballerina farms of it all?
Yes. And have you seen the video where she gets the egg
I
apron?
have. I have. The saddest part of the whole video is she's like, I hope these are tickets to Greece. and and it's an egg apron. Now, I also don't want to judge a person by just what you see on
She and
TikTok.
she
Maybe that's like really what she asked for and like what she really wanted.
Yeah, or she was joking, or they're also going to Greece. Like, and it was just like
Exactly. You
she opened
can't
this
just
thing and this
like,
is what she posted.
yeah, you just can't take it from like the 7 seconds that you see online. But also, had I been given an apron to collect eggs in, I would simply be disappointed.
Well, you don't have chickens, but she also said my egg apron. So like she picked it out. Is my
Yeah.
is my thought is she was
Oh,
like, "Oh,
I
I want an
fully
egg
believe she
apron."
picked it out and she
Yeah.
wanted it. I don't think he would have picked it out if she hadn't been like, look how nice this apron is. It has a spot for every single egg. Like, I don't think that man would have like been on Etsy looking for egg aprons.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it is. I didn't read the article, but and I was so confused because when I got back on TikTok, I had missed a lot in my 2.5 days that I was gone, and because that's the thing about getting banned is you don't have your like you can't get on it.
Yeah,
You
that
can't get on TikTok at
sucks.
all.
You're so
And don't
behind
worry,
in culture.
even when I didn't have TikTok, I refused to go to Instagram Reels. I would never.
I was thinking about taking off all of August for social media, like just getting off Instagram and TikTok, but then like
Mhm.
I wouldn't know any references. I wouldn't know any memes.
Yeah, wouldn't know anything. Wouldn't know anything going on. I know. Like, I don't know, because I was also like, oh, if I just didn't have any of these things, like they do talk about on like the toast and stuff like that. And it's also like, do I need to know about this ballerina farms? Like, in the grand scheme of my life, I don't need to be
I
up
just
to
think if
date
I
with the
was
culture.
on Instagram less, I would just buy less because I wouldn't see things and be inspired by things and go like I think I would just be more content with, I
What
don't
you
know, the
have,
things I have.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, see, I'm like, I don't like Tanner went so like I'll watch his reels because mine are only like these are the trending sounds you should use. This is how you get like for some reason it's only like
Yeah.
content making reels and I like, don't care about them, but for some reason that's all I'm on. But when I scroll next to Tanner on his reels because I like watching his to see what other people get, he looks at all the ads like they're so tailored to him. They're all like different swimsuits and like
Mm-hmm.
funky t-shirts. But like when he gets to an ad, he scrolls through the ad. Like he spends more time on the ads than he does on the reels,
Well,
which
is
is
he like
insane to
looking at it
me.
from a design perspective or is he like wanting to buy the product?
Like wanting to, I think he looks at everything in his life from a design perspective.
That's fair.
But like he very often will like buy a t-shirt he sees on Instagram. But
Interesting. So I
I have
actually
never
don't
done that.
buy, yeah, I don't think I've ever bought anything from an Instagram ad, but what I do is I like follow a lot of
People who
accounts where
like
it's
stuff.
like
Yeah.
aesthetics and vibes and outfits I like fashion accounts and whatever. And I'd be like, oh, I love the shape of that bag, or I love the color of that
Mhm.
shoe. And then I like go and I search in like the ether for what I'm looking for. And I just think if
Mhm.
I didn't see that, I would buy less. Um,
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I buy much to begin with, but I don't know.
I do. Like it's like I had plenty of dress options for your rehearsal dinner, but yet I needed a new one. I needed a new dress because at the core I'm a consumer and I consume.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is like with the dresses I have, there's a fault. I find a fault in every single one, but I'm not willing to part with them. Because I tell myself I'm like, oh, I'll just alter this somehow. No, I won't. I won't. I won't alter it somehow. It'll just sit in my closet, and then eventually I might wear it, but the whole time I'll be tugging at it and fidgeting with it. But you have more like things to go to, like whereas like I don't have a reason to be getting dressed up for things.
Yeah.
Um, but if I did have a reason, I would love it. But yeah, like I don't know. I also like I just want to wear your clothes. Like like the online shopping, like whenever I'm like, oh, I need a dress for this, like if I scroll for longer than a half an hour, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I give up.
I do wish we lived
Um,
closer because I would love for people to wear my clothes more. Like I just
Hmm.
want to be the person that like lends people dresses and like shoes and accessories. Like I just have a lot and I just want to give my clothes and stuff life and it just thinks it makes me happier to see like my money being used in that way than just like sitting in my closet. Um, but quickly
Which
back
is
to
much
Ballerina
different from when you were a
Farms.
child. But
No,
yes.
I know. I used to be like very territorial, but now it's like I
Yeah.
feel like yeah,
I think
I
that's just growing up. Yeah.
yeah, I
Being
agree.
like, okay, back to Ballerina Farms.
I just think it's a little bit of both, and like
Oh, and
everyone's
for
coming at
context,
it from like
for
two
for here,
extremes.
for context, for people who don't know, Ballerina Farms is a huge social media account. It's a lady who was a Juilliard dancer, and then she married a billionaire. Well, like the son of a billionaire. They own JetBlue, the airplane company.
Yeah, and
And so
other airlines.
she's a homemaker, and she has 8 children, and she just does like homesteading, traditional wife things. Um, and like I think she really lives this life. Like she gets like I think she makes her videos, she gets off and then like goes and does these things in real life. But she
Hmm.
also has like built an empire for herself. She sells starters, she sells like raw milk, she's like selling her
They
wares.
sell
So it's
meat.
like it's
Yeah.
like it's a big business. Um
Yeah, she's almost like the face of this like trad wife movement, but she herself, I don't think actually even identifies as a traditional wife because through posting and being social media, she has made a huge business for herself. And
yeah.
so she's like the face of trad wifing, but like also as a businesswoman. I don't know. This Times article came out, and I agree it was like very biased, kind of thinking like she's against fourth wave feminism and like women used to be breaking the glass ceiling and now like women are wanting to stay home and she's like being really controlled by her husband and like they're living out her husband's dreams and like not her dreams. And like some people on TikTok are like he took her away from dancing. She never got to follow her dreams. Like she is being forced to live on this farm. And like I don't think it's that. Like I do think she wanted to have a
And I
family.
think
They grew up in the Mormon faith. She wanted and then if she didn't, like I don't think she's being held against her will. Like what we need to be worried about in these like traditional wives is like if they have no autonomy in their life, like then the society can be worried like, hey, you're being controlled. But I do think she's like actively choosing to live this life for herself. And if she wasn't, I don't think she would be posting it online, you know? Like,
yeah. Well, and I think too, like to be a ballerina, you can't do that until you're, in your 50s. Like there's
yeah.
a time frame of when your body, is still working
Yeah. And I do
through those
think
things.
maybe like
Yeah.
he convinced her to get married pretty young. Like she had a year left of school. They got married after dating for 1 month. Like I do think there's a little gray area, but it's also very of the Mormon faith. And I am nothing if not a
Yes.
believer in the freedom of religion. And so, like, if that's the values and traditions that you grew up with, like, who am I to tell you that that's too soon to get married?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just like on TikTok, it's people are just like they named it Ballerina Farms to remind her that she'll never be a ballerina again. And like I like went to her page and watched her videos and like they just got dairy cattle and she's like so excited about it. She's crying because the dairy cows are showing up and she's been so excited for the dairy cows and like I don't know. I just think people need to they're fighting the wrong battle.
Yeah.
Like
Y-
there's things that
These
we
are the
gotta
things
fight
that we don't,
about and
yeah.
this is like not it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
It
Yeah.
was wild. I was listening to it on the toast, reading the article, and then at the exact same time, a person in my work group chat was like, "Have you guys seen this article? She needs to blink twice if she feels safe." And I'm like, I think she could. She has such a big platform. If she really didn't feel safe, or I mean, I don't know, but I would just assume that like if they don't want, if she's being so heavily controlled, she probably wouldn't be an influencer.
Right. Yeah. Now, I will also say like there's like, family accounts where it's like they're forcing their kids to like be in videos and they're definitely
Yeah.
like kids speaking out, but like this is a full grown adult. She looks like she's having a great time.
Hmm.
She's built an empire for herself. Like, yeah, yeah. I don't like. She's not one of the people that I'm concerned about.
Yeah. And like I do think
But
there, yeah, the relationship is interesting. Couldn't be a relationship I would be in. The He is kind of controlling, but like that's how they grew up. They both grew up in Mormon families. Like that's just I think what they're accustomed to.
yeah. Anyway, at the same time, when I got on TikTok, I was seeing ballerina farms, and then I was also seeing ballerina murder her. And I was like, wait, what is going on? So at the same time, people are talking about ballerina farms. There was this lady who at one point was a ballerina and she murdered her husband and the daughter. This happened like 4 years ago, and the trial's happening right now. And the daughter has been TikToking the whole thing. She had like take the stand, and she was like, "How embarrassing for me to be taking the stand while my crush is at home watching me on TV."
I
Um,
actually saw her on the stand and I was so confused because I was like, wait, Ballerini Farms is also murder? And then I was like, I'm too far into the internet. I
yeah,
didn't realize those are like totally different things.
things happening at the same time. Everything's coming up ballerina.
Angelina Ballerina was a favorite childhood book of mine.
Yeah. Well, and it was just interesting because like I just and like the girl was saying like I'll talk a lot more of this after the trial. It's wild that we live in a time where it's just like, oh hey, I'm going to trial. This is me on the stand. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
No, we would live in a strange time.
A weird time. And I really appreciate everyone's oversharing.
Man, I know. And now look at us. We're oversharing on the internet. We're part of the
Look at us.
problem. All 83 of you subscribers.
We love you all.
Next week's episode is going to be Sister Friends IRL, and
IRL. A
I'm going to
vlog.
vlog Zoe and I's trip, plus Tanner and Eddie.
Yeah, no. And so this was my question. Because Tanner was like, so this was originally supposed to be a girls trip, and then I decided to tag along. Is Eddie tagging along because I tagged along,
Yes.
or is Eddie just okay? Okay.
So this is what happened. I was like, Zoe, we need our last hurrah before your wedding. Girly swirly night out. It's going to be so fun. And so I was like, this is great, but I'm poor. And Tanner said he'll come and get our hotel for me. And so Tanner
Well,
came.
no. Well, I was originally planning on being poor and just staying with you
Yes.
because I was like, okay, I can afford a Spirit Airlines plane ticket there for $73. I can't afford a $1,000,000,000 hotel.
Right. But my
And
bed is
to
large
be
enough for the two
fair,
of us.
Tanner for years has been like, "Hey, we need to go on a trip to New York." I never take him because when I come with mom. Or like
Yeah.
last year, like we all came in like a huge group. And so he was like, "Wait, but I still want to come too." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, you can tag along, but you can't hang out with us. We can't be seen together."
Okay,
Um,
so then Tanner was coming, and Eddie was supposed to come the weekend after. And so I had like mentioned in casual that Tanner was coming. And then I got a little butthurt that he wasn't invited. And he's like,
uh-huh.
well, why don't you want me there? I mean, Tanner's gonna be there. Why can't I come? And I was like, okay, like you can come. I wasn't like trying to
Oh
gatekeep
no,
you from this trip.
no.
Like,
Tanner was thrilled when he heard
live
that
your
Eddie was
best
coming
life.
because he was
Sure,
like,
come.
"Oh, good."
And then like 3 minutes later, he's like, I got my train tickets. We're ready to go. Change the reservations to 4. I'm gonna be there. So
Should people can be concerned about us and our men who are taking over our lives and
I know, am
controlling
I
what we
being
do?
controlled? Am I? Do my opinions not matter? I'm gonna get an egg apron for my birthday this year. It's gonna be crazy, and I don't have
No.
chicken.
Oh, I know. I was trying to figure out an equivalent of girly swirly night out for them, but I couldn't think of anything. And there's no cute boy terms.
I
Um,
think they are also just having a girly swirly night out. It's a girly
oh,
swirly
oh, they
weekend.
too. It is a girly swirly weekend. No, and I love so Kenzie sent in a group message like a whole um, like cute like timeline of what we're gonna do. And there's something actually I love about like a uh
An
what
itinerary.
would you even call that? No, not in just the like how it's designed. It's on a template. It's like a not Evite, like a what would you even call that? Like the design, like obviously I love a timeline, but like the way it
It's
was
an
like presented.
itinerary.
yeah, but I don't like an itinerary. Like if it was anything else, like if it was like, even if it was just like a list that was in like a cute little, I like a curated thing. No pun
What?
intended, my brain will explode. I don't
Anyways,
know. I
I
mean,
had work has been kind of slow. So mom's coming today, and then Zoe's coming next weekend, and so I made little cute itineraries for both weekends. Also because I only do laundry like once every 2 weeks, and so I have to like really think ahead about what I want my outfits to be. So I have to like think about what I'm doing. Um, so I'm so excited. I'm taking Zoe and Tanner to my favorite restaurant in all of New York, and then Zoe's gonna try on all of my dresses.
mhm.
I have my gift for Zoe right here.
And so small, that means it's even better. The smaller the gift, the better it is. Is it a pressed penny?
No,
Oh,
why
you're,
would it be a pressed penny?
I don't know. That was the first thing that came to mind when I thought little box.
No, it's not a pressed penny.
Dang.
Okay, sister friend. Well, it's been so real. I don't even remember what we talked about, so the title of this show is gonna be very interesting. Can't wait to edit since you stopped recording halfway through.
Sorry. Good luck. I wish you the best. Bye.
Bye.